Are we praying correctly? Are our words pleasing to God? What if we're not saying the right things? What if our prayers go unheard? The fear of praying wrong can linger. These questions can weigh heavily on the minds of the faithful, creating a barrier between them and the God they seek to connect with. Prayer is often considered the lifeline of a Christian's faith, a direct line to God. For many, the act of prayer can evoke both comfort and fear. In this video, we explore how we can move beyond fear and embrace the beauty of prayer, a practice meant to deepen our relationship with God, not confine it. Join us as we unravel the true essence of prayer and discuss those mistakes we make while praying. But before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell button so you don't miss any important content. Mistake number 1, praying with wrong motives. You ask and do not receive because you ask with wrong motives so that you may spend it on your pleasures. This scripture highlights how our intentions matter immensely in prayer. Instead of focusing solely on our desires, we should ask ourselves, how can my prayers align with God's plan? This mindset shift can transform your prayer life. Mistake number 2, not being specific. Many of us pray in vague terms, God, please help me. But specificity can deepen our relationship with Him. Think about it. When you express your needs clearly, you're inviting God into the details of your life instead of saying, help me with my job. You might say, please give me wisdom and favor in my upcoming meeting. Mistake number 3, lack of understanding. Some pray without understanding who God is or what prayer truly means. A meaningful connection is key. Knowing who God is, His love, mercy, and sovereignty shapes how we communicate with Him. Recognizing His greatness can foster awe and reverence, while understanding His love invites us to approach Him with confidence and trust. Mistake number 4, self-righteousness. Praying with a sense of superiority or judgment towards others can lead to hypocrisy. Jesus teaches humility in prayer. When individuals pray from a place of self-righteousness, they may elevate themselves above others, believing they are more deserving of God's favor. This attitude contradicts the humility that Jesus exemplifies and teaches. Mistake number 5, neglecting forgiveness. In the Lord's Prayer, Jesus emphasizes the importance of forgiving others. Holding on to grudges can hinder one's relationship with God. Jesus teaches His followers to pray for forgiveness as they forgive others. This connection emphasizes that our willingness to forgive is integral to our relationship with God. It highlights that forgiveness is not just a one-time act, but a continuous practice. Forgiving others mirrors the forgiveness we receive from God. When we grasp the depth of God's grace in our own lives, we are more compelled to extend that grace to others. This cycle of forgiveness nurtures a deeper connection with God. Mistake number 6, focus on materialism. Focusing excessively on material requests can foster a mindset of discontent. Prayer is a space to express gratitude for what we have and to cultivate contentment, recognizing the blessings already present in our lives. Mistake number 7, insincerity. Praying without true belief or intention can render prayer ineffective. When individuals pray without genuine belief, their words may become empty rituals rather than heartfelt expressions. This lack of authenticity can create a barrier to experiencing God's presence. Authentic prayers, rooted in true belief and intention, creates a deeper, more meaningful connection with God. It transforms the act of prayer from a mere duty into a dynamic and life-giving relationship, allowing for growth, understanding, and spiritual depth. Remember, it's not just about the words we say, but the heart behind them. And that's why in Christianity, Jesus provides a model for prayer that emphasizes sincerity, humility, and the right focus. The key elements of a Christian prayer include adoration, praising God for His attributes and goodness; confession, acknowledging sins and seeking forgiveness; thanksgiving, expressing gratitude for God's blessings; supplication, making requests for oneself or others. A prayer deepens the relationship between believers and God. It helps individuals discern God's will and seek His direction. It provides comfort and strength in times of difficulty. Overall, a prayer is foundational in the Christian faith, viewed as a way to grow spiritually and engage with God's presence. But many of us unknowingly make mistakes that can hinder our connection with God. Here's how we can pray according to his teachings. Pray with sincerity and humility. Jesus warns against praying for show or to impress others. Instead, he encourages praying in private, emphasizing that God sees what's done in secret. The key takeaway here is to approach your prayers with a genuine heart, seeking a personal connection with God. Use the Lord's Prayer as a model. Jesus teaches his disciples the Lord's Prayer, addressing God as our Father in heaven. Hallowed be your name, dependence on him. Give us today our daily bread. Forgiveness, and forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. Guidance and protection. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Pray with faith. Jesus emphasizes the importance of believing in the power of prayer. He encourages asking in faith, trusting that God hears and responds. Be persistent. In the parable of the persistent widow, Jesus teaches the importance of perseverance in prayer, illustrating that God values our tenacity and faith. Pray for others. Jesus often prayed for others, showing us the importance of lifting up friends, family, and even enemies in prayer. These principles reflect the heart of Jesus' teachings on prayer and encourage a deeper, more meaningful dialogue with God. However, before we conclude, it's important that we listen to this short story from the Bible. Hannah, a significant figure in the Bible, was one of the two wives of Elkanah, a man from the tribe of Ephraim. His other wife, Peninnah, had children, but Hannah was unable to conceive. This brought great distress to Hannah, as having children was highly valued in her culture. Every year, Elkanah would take his family to Shiloh to worship and offer sacrifices. Peninnah would often provoke Hannah about her barrenness, which caused Hannah deep sorrow. In her anguish, she would weep and refuse to eat. One year during their visit to Shiloh, Hannah went to the temple and poured out her heart to God. She prayed earnestly, vowing that if God granted her a son, she would dedicate him to the Lord's service for his entire life. In her prayer, she was so fervent that the priest Eli initially thought she was drunk. After hearing her explanation, Eli blessed Hannah and assured her that God would grant her request. Hannah became pregnant and in due time gave birth to a son named Samuel. True to her promise, once Samuel was weaned, she brought him to the temple and dedicated him to the Lord. She presented him to Eli, saying, "For this child I prayed, and the Lord has granted me my petition." Hannah's story concludes with her offering a beautiful song of praise to God, expressing her gratitude and proclaiming his greatness. This song highlights themes of God's sovereignty and justice. Hannah's story is one of faith, perseverance, and most importantly, the power of prayer. It shows how God hears the cries of the desperate and fulfills his promises. Samuel would go on to become a significant prophet and leader in Israel, further emphasizing the importance of Hannah's faithfulness. Hannah's journey encourages many to trust in God's plans and pray to God with sincerity, humility, and the right focus, even in the face of personal trials. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more content on faith and prayer. And let us know in the comments, what's one change you'll make in your prayer life after watching this video? Let's support each other in our journeys of faith. Until next time, keep seeking and keep praying.